Let's talk about something that's been holding us back for far too long. For generations, we've been told to fear Africa, not by those who've walked her lands, tasted her cuisine, or danced under her sun, but by those who've never stepped foot on her soil. Propaganda has painted the continent with a single distorted brushstroke, and sadly, many of us, Black Americans, have inherited that fear. We sit in hesitation while the rest of the world rushes in. Europeans, Asians, investors, digital nomads. They're not afraid. In fact, they're building, buying land, forging partnerships, creating legacy. Even in the most remote regions, they see Africa not as something to fear, but as a place of opportunity, history, and rebirth. So I ask you, why aren't we? Why are we still believing stories written without our names, spoken without our voices? This isn't just about travel. This is about reclaiming connection. It's about rewriting the narrative. In our next series of videos from the Black Travel Expo 2025, we'll unpack the fear, the propaganda, and most importantly, the truth. Credit to Jay Cameron, A. Charles Shima, and Stephen Colonzo. Africa isn't calling us back to scare us. She's calling us to heal us, to build us, to remind us who we are. So let's lean in, let's get informed, and let's go home with pride, purpose, and power.
Many people would go and they said, this place is a mess. But then I would watch people come from Europe and Asia and Lebanon, and they would come in and build, and then we would consume. And I said, wow. They told me that Africa was poor. But why do I see everybody coming from Europe to Africa living their best life? But we back home in the States talking about how I don't want to go to Africa because they don't like us over there. They told me they sold ancestors. I'm like, wait a minute now. Oh. The story is a little deeper. You know, when I started realizing the story went deeper than just that. I was like, who's telling us these stories? Where are we hearing this? Oftentimes, people who've never been telling us the stories. They told me you don't like us. What do you mean? Half the time they don't even know our story. Truth be told, we don't know their story. Their story is very similar to our story. Go to South Africa, you'd be amazed. They were fighting and dying in the streets just like our either the people who are still alive today who were doing, or our ancestors who were doing it here in the U.S.